this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how I create a burgundy wine rose design on this lovely candle holder. Now this can be a candle holder, a candy holder, flower holder, whatever you want it to be. I think either way it's probably more appropriately used as a candle holder or a candy holder if you're doing a candy bar. I'm going to be using two flat brushes. One is a number 10, one is a number 12. They're both plowed one-stroke brushes. The paint I'm using is Thicket, Moon Yellow, Berry Wine, Happy Green, along with Thicket. As you can see, my palette doesn't really vary a whole lot, so it's easy, to stock up on the paint. And I do have some other colors I'd like to share at some point, but right now I'm just going to double load my brush with the Berry Wine and the Wicker White, like I'm showing you here. And I'm used to doing this with my brushes being more full of the white than the Wicker White, than the Berry Wine. But this one has more of the wine color in it. So I'm going to go ahead and start here and do my basic rose. I think we all have kind of our signature roses that we do, and this happens to be mine. I'm going to pull my paint back so I actually have more room to paint. And then I'm going to put that over here. And then come down here and add a few more strokes. Now I like to make my roses go over the little creases where my petals attach, and then just keep going with it so it's not so many petals, just a few. And then I'm going to put my little center in like so. Now I can go ahead and wiggle in another row of petals if I want, and that's what I'm choosing to do right now. Add in some more petals, or I could just go ahead and start doing like this type of petal. Let me show you here where I just kind of pull it out. Just make sure I have some more white on here though. And then swing it around. Come back over here. I'm going to come up here and do it. Swing it around and come underneath that one. These are just very simple roses. I know some people will make more detailed roses. I'm just into the more simple designs. And then I'll come up here and make some more up in here. And this might be a little smaller. And they can even touch, not a big deal. And then you can come over here and pull it and go around. So you have a few layers. And then, you can change your center so they're not all going the same direction. They don't have to. They can go into different directions if they wish. Now this one, what I'm going to do is start off with my petals. I'm not going to add that layer of wiggle petals like I did on the last one. I'm going to start with this type of a petal sooner, and then just bring maybe a third one down here, like that. And you could put more in here if you wanted to, but I'm just going to leave them simple. And then come up here, put another one. Add another one over here. Add this one down here. And you can vary the amount of petals that you're seeing. Doesn't matter. And pretty easy to get along with. It comes with designs. If you like something a certain way, then do it that way. You don't have to do things exactly how I do them. Maybe you've learned a better way. If you have on any of these designs, please feel free to share, because I would love to know anytime you have a better way to do something, or maybe a different way. You know, it's okay. You don't have to do everything the same way. And there's so many ways to do roses. There's some that are easy, and then there's some that are more difficult. You know, people put more detail into them. Some of them are real simplistic. So, you know, whatever floats your boat. I'm going to come back in here and put a little swing. You can. Come in here and do it. You can. And just leave it like that. Or you can come in here and add more detail to it if you want. It's up to you. Okay. And I think I'm going to add just one more open rose and have it going this direction. Let me switch it around here. There we go. And I'll have it once again going over this way. And you can get it over there. Just keep putting it in there. And then I can have my center going down this direction. And again, you can use, you know, different size brush for the center if you want. If you're finding that the brush you're using for the outside petals or the bottom main petals is actually too big, you know, you can. It's fine. Alright, and then I'm going to put some, keep getting a lot of paint on my brush, but put some buds up in here. And with my buds, I like to just maybe layer them a little bit. They don't have to be layered a lot. But I like to go like that, center them. Another thing too, keep in mind that I am a lefty. If I'm creating something one direction and you're not comfortable with it, then by all means switch it, because it might be a matter of you needing to go the opposite direction. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do is take my larger, actually is this the larger? The smaller, I think, brush. I'm going to load it with the green, the Happy Green and the Thicket. I have tapped in a little bit of the Moon Yellow. I can also tap in a little bit of the white if I want. And I'm just going to go around the roses, the buds, starting with this first, and paint my little designs around the buds, and then continue on here. Do the same thing at the top, and then I'm going to come around the bottom here and do the same thing. And it's okay if I'm pulling some of the burgundy wine into this. I like it actually. So that's fine with me. If you don't, then you might want to give some drying time or hit your design with a heat gun or a hair dryer first. The one thing too I like to try to state when I do videos is that you need to make sure you clean your glassware prior to painting on it. Wash it with soap and water, hit it with some on here. Hit it with some rubbing alcohol when you're finished. I will put some little stems on here. You don't have to. You could just put the leaves around it. I'm just going to pull them down like this. Pretend that I have some stems on here. Again, we're just pretending. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with some wiggle petals. I am double loading my brush with the Thicket and the Happy Green, but I'm also tipping the brush into the Moon Yellow and some white, and just kind of randomly doing that. I don't have to do it every time, and I can rotate how I'm doing these leaves. I'm going to do the darker on the outside around this one here. I'm just kind of randomly going down it like that. Now on these, I like to do just my little petals where I pull them up like I just did. And I'm going to make sure I do it the same direction, coming back on the other side. And go like that, go like that. I could pull some down into that, but I'm just going to leave it like that so far. Come over here, do the same thing to these. Now once you're finished painting with this paint, I'm using the Folk Art Enamels and the multi-surface. Allow your design to dry at least an hour, and then feel free to place it in a cold oven. Preheat your oven. Now if you don't know your preheat time, I would allow at least 10 to 15 minutes for the preheat time. I know some people aren't actually sure what their preheat time is. If you want to try to time it and see, that's fine, but I would say at least 10 to 15 minutes. Mine happens to be around 20 minutes, so what I do, I don't know why this is doing this, what I do is add my preheat time to my bake time. So the bake time for this product is 30 minutes. My preheat time is 20 minutes, so it's a total of 50 minutes. When you're done baking, it's very important that you allow the oven to cool completely prior to taking the product out of the oven. Any sudden change in temperature is what will cause the glass to break. Once you've worked so hard on your project, you aren't going to want it to break in the oven, or break when you're taking it out of the oven. You're going to want it to be nice for you to be able to use or gift, whatever you're choosing to do. So remember that. It's the sudden change in temperature that's going to cause the glass to break. I'm going to try this style of leaf on this glass right now. I did this before on a project, but it was on paper, so I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but I wanted to give it some roughly edge to it. Now I could probably use a different brush, but I'm just using my flat brush that I started with and just going out like this, because you notice on leaves that you do, God darn it, I did not get it on there, on leaves that you have on a rose bush, a lot of times have or kind of rough edges. They're not just completely smooth. So that worked out alright. I thought, heck, why not give it a try, right? Alright, so then I'm going to come out here. Let me do this, sorry. I just feel like I'm not getting this on camera very well for you. I'm seeing it just fine, but but you're not. Alright, so this is just going to be one of my basic pull leaves. And I like to, like I said, add some of the paint in here and just kind of work it around. Again, the more paint you put on, the more durable your product is going to be, because the paint is thicker. And that will allow you to have a project that will hold up well. That's one reason too, and I haven't said this lately, but you know, like I did a couple videos on adding the frosted glass paint, and it's so nice because your product is thicker, your project is more durable because you've added that surface. And I know some of my glassware that I painted this past year had surfaces on them prior to painting the design for that fact. I mean, it does add more durability when your product has more paint on it. But you have to be careful too that you're not adding too much paint, because then it can bubble and you don't want it to bubble. So there's a lot of things you learn the more you paint, the more you learn. And that's true. Alright, I'm going to try to do another one of these wiggly or these, I don't even know how to say it, these crazy edge leaves. And I'm just kind of doing it like this with a smooth edge. And I'm going to come back over here and do it with a smooth edge. I've kind of covered up my little stems, but that's fine. Alright, so I'm just going to wiggle it. Like I said, it worked out okay with the paper. I'm not sure about doing it this way on here, but I think it's okay. I'm just using the chisel edge and then just coming out from here and making it. You don't have to do these if you don't want. I'm just trying them out. Alright, so we're almost finished. Alright, so you can do more if you want. And if you wanted to bring some more of the one-stroke leaves out this way. And you can see by adding these extra paints in here, these extra colors, you know, they are definitely more opaque, and that's good. Alright, I think I'm going to stop with it here. If you like this video, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You will be notified whenever I post something new. And also, when you finish watching the video, you'll see a share button that's underneath. Please make sure you share this with all of your friends and family on your social network. I'd appreciate it. All right, until the next time, you have a good one.